Having agreed on that, we make our way along the familiar
な
path.
んかこうしてると昔に戻ったみたいだよね。
あ
でもこうはあんまり変わってないよね。なんか雰囲気はちょっと大人の男っぽく変わったけど。
Oh.
あ、そういうお前も変わってないな。雰囲気はちょっと女らしくなったけど。
そう、もう少し成長したかったんだけどな。
She does look pretty much the same now that I think about it, both in height and bust size. You have to mention the last one. She was as much of a crybaby as she was back then as well. That works for me, though. I'd much rather not see her acting differently in response to how rough the world is these days. A selfish thought, I must admit.
それにしても怖いぐらいリアルだよね。
She brings her hand up to her brow and takes a look around.
さすが秋姉だよな。
私たちすごい先輩を持っちゃったね。
まったくあれでリアルの生活がグダグダじゃなかったら。
Nah, fuck you. She's great in all aspects. I love her. I can feel the conversation veering into gloomy territory again, so I do what I can to prevent it.
それでもやっぱりすごい人だよ。
Yeah,
だけじゃなくて
Nano understands. That doesn't work out, though. She looks even sadder now.
そうだな。秋姉は優しい。
Yeah, that's what I'm
な
talking
かなかそ
about.
れに気づいてもらえないんだけど。
More people need to realize just how amazing Aki
それ
is.
が分かってるのに、一番よく分かってるのに、どうして
I don't
今まで
know.
秋先輩を避けてたの？ごめんね、責めてるんじゃないんだよ。私も先輩には不義理してたから、
ナノハも秋姉に連絡。
いろいろとあった。
There's a hint of sadness in her reply.
そんな不義理をしてたのに、秋先輩がわざわざ私を探して
Of course she
見つけてくれ
did.
たの。
それでアーバルシティに誘う。
秋先輩が優遇してくれて、
Of course she
ハークのア
did.
カウント取るの。
Aki's the fucking best.
俺も同類さ。ここのアカウントは秋姉やおばさんのコネで得たようなもの。
アーク社のコネか。私、
God
本当にす
damn
ごい
right.
先輩持っちゃったな。
She lets out a quiet, almost nostalgic laugh.
あの頃は寮で私だけが凡人みたいに感じてたよ。正直みんなの才能が羨ましかった。
そんなことを思ってたのか。それを言ったら俺だって凡人だったんだし、マサやソラだって普通の少年少女だったろ。
ソラ先輩もマサ先輩も普通じゃないよ。特にソラ先輩は常識外れの存在だったし。
Fair enough. Called it.
それにボーだって凡人じゃないよ。栗原先生も言ってたよ。ボーの趣味クラブへの適応能力は異常だって。
先生がそんなことを言ってたのか。
I'm learning more and more by the second here. I also can't help but think about Mr.
だ
Kitahara.
からあの頃は兵隊さんになっちゃうのかな。こうやって会うまでずっとやっぱり兵隊になっちゃったのかな。心配だった。
She takes a good look into my eyes.
そんなわけないだろ。俺は自分の子供に寂しい思いはさせたくない。それはナノハが一番よく知ってるだろ。
Can't help but lie to her. It leaves me feeling racked with guilt.
子供って決まった相手がいるの？
Oh, you mentioned kids, huh? Who you planning to have kids with, bud?
ないよ。
Hmm.
仕事が忙しくてそれどころじゃなかったしな。
そうなんだ。
She cracks a small yet happy smile, then begins to move along.
でも懐かしいよね。なんか青春だけじゃなくて南八坂の頃も思い出すよ。
あの頃は手をつないで帰ったもんだよ。
ねえ、覚えてる？
Yeah, I remember. The sky looked nothing like it does now. It'd be dyed orange in the evening, too. Talking about the past with Nanoha like this leads the scenery from back then to come to mind. My memories of the past hit me like a wave, almost as if I'm experiencing a flashback. Taking it back to a time when the two of us were walking home hand in hand.
ナノハ、今日誕生日なんだろ？今日もお父さんたち仕事なの？
研究が忙しいらしいから。
Research. Research? Research. What are your parents researching there, Nanoha?
でも寂しいよな。
でも仕方がないよ。人類の未来の
For the sake of humanity, you say? What are your parents researching there, Nanoha? Both of us shared some things in common. Not only were we rare examples of second gens living here, but our parents were rarely home. The other people in the neighborhood never took well to them, That resulted in us being isolated from all the other kids.
立派な人たちなのに、なんで近所の連中は変なこと言うんだろう。
お父さんたちの研究が危険だって思い込んでる人がいるみたい。
そんなの、あんなに一生懸命頑張っているのに。
Tears begin to well up in Nanoha's eyes. I didn't know what to say to her. Kept thinking and thinking. I ended up getting home before coming up with something.
じゃあね、また明日。
あ、待って、
I stopped her before she can go home. Wouldn't be right to let her be alone on her birthday.
どこか遊びに行かないか。けど、
今日はお父さん帰ってくる。よかったね、こう。
She forces a smile, one that I find painfully sad in spite of my age. Hurts me so much that I grab her hand.
どうせ外食になるんだ。俺、親父と二人だと。
本当に一緒にいていいの？
うん。親父に二人でたかりまくってやろうぜ。
そんなにいっぱい食べられないよ。
A wave of relief washes over me upon seeing her smile.
じゃあ支度してくるから待っててね。
She keeps her eyes on me as she plays her hand on the door. She met with a cracking sound and a storm of paper the moment she opens it.
誕生日おめでとう、ナノハ。
あれ？お父さん。
おめでとうなのは。ケーキもプレゼントも用意してあるわよ。
嘘。お父さん、ありがとう。
She lets out a cry of joy before hugging them both by the neck. I'm honestly happy for her. There's a part of me that feels kind of lonely. Her parents eventually come over to me, together with Nanoha.
やあ、こうくん。いつもナノハが世話になっているね。
こうちゃん、よかったらお母さん、また入院しているのよね。
いえ、俺、
遠慮しなくていいんだよ。
いえ、今日はお父さんが帰ってくるはずですから。
なら、うちで待っていたらどうか。せっかくの誕生日。
はい。
Hell yeah. There's so much warmth behind her words and smile that I can't find it in me to decline. An email from my dad arrives not long after I get back from Nanoha's place.
すまん、こう。今日中には帰れそうもなくなった。クソったれどもを蹴散らしたら必ず帰る。持ちきれないほど土産を持って帰るから。
俺なんかより、母さんは心配じゃないのかよ。
I can hear laughter coming from next door. It's a heavy contrast to the dull, pitch-black atmosphere in here.
ごめんな、ナノハ。研究所が忙しい。
それにちゃんとこうして二人集まってくれたんだし。
当たり前よ。ナノハちゃんの誕生日なんだから。
もう少しで研究も一段落する。そうなったら、毎日家族全員で食事をし。
そうね、この子のためにも。
お父さん、お母さん、大丈夫。ナノハも応援してるから頑張って。
Nanoha's parents are good people. The research is for the sake of humanity, yet they still care about Nanoha as well. That's the thing. This flashback starts off with me feeling bad about Nanoha, and now it's just completely reversed. I'm like, damn, Ko, you're fucking you. Like, I already know, like, we already knew, like, his childhood sucked shit because his mom was in the hospital, his dad wasn't around, whatnot. But it's like just sitting alone in your house while listening to them have this celebration over there. That's, oh, fuck. Meanwhile, my dad's a crazy warmonger who's forgotten all about his family. How come they're so different?
こう？
Come to my senses, only to notice Nanoha gazing at me with a curious expression.
どうしたの？ひょっとして
そうじゃないんだ。
What in the world was that? Felt like a flashback, only this time it happened out of nowhere. Almost like a bunch of juices just started flowing out of my brain all of a sudden. Guess I'm gonna have to get that checked out.
大丈夫？
ああ、心配するな。
I force a smile, then try to make my way. Just then, I'm greeted by a sight that leaves me breathless. Standing there is none other than Sora Minazuki. No, it can't be her. She's dead. Kuga's gone
だ
too.
ったら、
My heart is racing, struggling to breathe. There's too much emotion in her expression to be a simple NPC.
思い出して。
Think back.
クリスマスイブ。約束の日。
To the day she died? Who? No. What is
ちょ
this?
っと、こう。
I feel Nanoha shaking me about. Can't just stand around here. I need to find out what she is.
しっかりして。ちょっと待って。こう。
Thinking that, I dash over to her. She stays put, staring into my eyes with a blank expression. Ugh, I feel like I'm gonna snap.
君は一体誰なんだ？
I notice that my hands are shaking when I take hold of hers.
ようこそ、アーバルシティへ。私は
モデル S4R タイプの
All I get in return is a fabricated smile. A single trace of soda remains.
勘違い。
Check the NPC's ID just to be sure. Yep, doesn't match Ku's.
こうソラ先輩でも
She sounds and looks concerned about me. See tears welling up in her eyes too. How do you know about Ku? Did like Aki fill you in at some point? Because that doesn't seem like something she'd do. Because Ku like existed in Aki's private world, and like when Ko stumbled onto it, it seemed like it was something he really shouldn't have stumbled onto. So how the fuck do you know about Ku? Now hold up. Now hold up. No, hold up. Well, I guess Aki would have probably had to. Yo, I take it back. Aki probably would have had to explain it to Nanoha. Because I'm sure Nanoha shows up at Arvel City, right? And she sees all of these Soras walking around. She's like, what the fuck is going on here? So then Aki has to be like, okay. I know this looks bad. I need to pull myself together before she breaks down. I take a deep breath to help me do so.
仕方がないさ。企業は資金を回収しないと成り立たないものだろうからな。
そりゃそうだけど。
って、あれ？どうしてお前がクーのこと知ってるんだ？
はあ？忘れちゃったの？あの子が原因で千夏先輩とかすごい騒ぎになったの覚えてない？
What?
言われてみればそんなこともあった。
Between me and Chinatsu? Did Chinatsu follow us into the... Did Chinatsu somehow get into Aki's space? I do, but I can't seem to remember the details.
ごめん。
She must have heard from Aki.
そんな顔するな。まだ治療は受けているんだ。
Instinct leads me to extending my hand out to her. Her eyes remain cast downward, but she responds in kind, squeezing it tightly. Her hands are as small and soft as ever.
おかえり、こう、なの。
Aki was waiting for us when we got to the dorm. Hell yeah, she was.
ただいま、アキネ。
ただいま先輩、待っててください。今ご飯を作りますから。
There's Nano starts making her way to the kitchen, and my chip silently addresses me.
匿名のコールです。音声のみ優先度最大。
匿名だって。
After pondering who it could be, I make the decision to answer.
お
Chinatsu?
久しぶり。こう。
Yep. It was none other than Chinatsu. Move! At the time we agreed on, I head out to Anonymous City.
指定の座標はここだったはずなんだけどな。
Okay. The virtual city is barren. Look around in search of Chinatsu. She walks out from behind one of the buildings.
千夏だよな。
Feel the same misgivings as I did the other day. This isn't the Chinatsu I used to
こ
know.
ないだはどうも。
いや、こちらこそ。
Managed to scrape by on an awkward greeting. What should I even begin to talk about? Her coldness makes it clear that this isn't a cheerful reunion.
傭兵だってね。
Chinatsu breaks the silence with words I didn't expect.
どうしてそのことを知っているんだ？
同業者ってわけじゃないけど。
I have no idea what she's affiliated with, but her coldness makes one thing clear.
どうやら友達同士さいって感じじゃなさそう
ま。あね。
Her blunt answer freezes my heart. Yeah, we've seen this. Uh-huh.
こう、シティを離れて。
Hell yeah.
このままじゃトラブルに巻き込まれるよ。
Nope.
それに近いうちに鈴代そのことを
Yep.
さすがに昔の友達じゃ。
She ends the conversation, turns her back to me, having left no window to
警
respond.
告してくれる友情は今でも残っているんだな。
I remark causes her to stop in her tracks.
実は俺、記憶障害が起きていて。
記憶障害
She turns to face me. Her stoic expression is no more, either. She's clearly surprised by this revelation. I didn't want to let her go just yet, so I do what I can to make sure she stays.
だから過去にお前にどんな悪さをしていても今この場で謝り直さなきゃな。
謝ることなんて何もたとえあったとしても大昔の出来事。
Okay, but now I need to know. But now I need to know. I need to know what happened between you two.
何も気にしていないよ。
But it bothers me!
もうただの思い出だから。
千夏。
少なくとも悪い思い出じゃないよ。私がこうなったのはこうに関係ないから。ねえ、こう私がこうに作った。
Try to remember, but sadly nothing comes to
ごめ
mind.
ん。
そっか、でもいい。私、あの時の約束。
待て千夏。アーク社の仮想都市に菜の葉やマサも。
さようなら、死なないでね。
No, hold up. No, hold up. Nanoha and Masa come there often, so we have not seen Masa once in Nanoha's route. I'm just throwing that out there. Yes, by this point in Rain's route, Masa had stopped by. We'd had our little reunion with him. We have not seen hide nor hair of Masa in this route. That's a very interesting thing to tag on there. Clearly, they're just reusing lines, right, for this scene. But you think they would have considered, like, oh wait, have we shown Masa at all? And the answer is no. No, they have not. My plea goes ignored as she logs off. All I can do is stare at where she once stood. Looks like I've lost yet another tie to my past.
一体
I whisper to myself while staring up at the sky. Oh, we moving.
ようこそアーバルシティへ。
An NPC greets me the moment I step into Arvel City. Drag myself over to it and take a good look at its face.
何かご用がありましたら遠慮なくお申し付けください。
What that mouth do?
あ
I don't need to rely on their ID to tell whether they're an NPC or not at this point. Same goes for most second gens, I'd assume. They may be smart, but we can tell there's something missing when talking to NPCs. Almost like there's no soul in them. Not that I can explain what a soul is, but, well. People likely have the ability to distinguish between other people.
一つ質問があるんだけど、君と同じモデルはアーバルシティ以外にも配置されているのかな？
はい。ネットの各地に存在するアーク社の施設には私
じゃあアーク社の施設以外では？
デザイナとの契約によりもしアーク社施設以外の場所で私を見かけた場合は
ありがとう。
NPC bows, then makes its way elsewhere.
注意、ここにいらっしゃったんですか？
ああ、ちょっと出かけてた。
少し探しました。
すまないな。
We can hear Aki and Nanoha talking upstairs as we make our way into the dorm. Yeah, as they're rearranging the room. The Buddha statues. I love Aki always with the Buddha statues.
さあ。
Oh, fuck. Rain and I take off our shoes and walk up the stairs. Their voices are coming from one of the rooms. If I remember correctly, this one's owned by...
ああ、おかえり。こう来てたんだ。
And then she's like, and woman. Before I can remember the room's owner, someone opens the door.
ただいま。二人とも何をしていたんだ？
ちょうどいいところに来た。入って。
ああ、そうか。菜の葉の部屋も再現したんだ。
I do love how the Buddha statue is just right there on the bed. It's not like placed on a shelf or anything. It's just sitting on the bed. This brings back memories. The room was always clean and smelled nice. Can't forget the potted plants and stuffed animals that characterized it too. Memory of this room is coming back to me. But
アキ先輩が作って。
one glance is all I need to understand.
怪しげな仏像にマンダラのポスター、キノコの鉢植え。お前の部屋ってこんなにシュールだっけ？
まあ素敵な。
レイン、無理。
レインさん、
レイン
誤解しないでくださいね。私の部屋本当はこんなんじゃなかったんですから。菜の葉はあまり人を部屋に招かなかったから。なるほど。イメージジェネレーターを。
と、つまりこれは誰かさんの主観だけで再現したわけ。
アキ先輩はどんな目だから。女の子らしい可愛い部屋。
Oh, I love Aki. What do you mean? This is so cute and girly. It's perfect. A bit frustrated, she picks up one of the potted poison mushrooms. Oh, Nanoha did have potted plants. Definitely not fungi, though.
こうも手伝って。
いいけど、
じゃあ。
As I pick up the pot, several dialogue windows open up.
西野亜紀さんよりチップへのリンクが用
On the transparent windows, Aki makes an impish smile.
私、アークのイメージジェネレーだから。
分かったよ。じゃあ、了承。
Windows suddenly change, making it clear that there's now a peer-to-peer connection between us.
その味。
Listening to the voice in my head, I lightly close my eyes. I know the contents of this pot. Doesn't look like I'll have any trouble remembering it. A vivid image forms in my brain. It was the early spring day when Nanoha moved into the dorm.
もう片付けは済んだみたいだな。
手伝ってくれてありがとう。
A number of plant pots line her windowsill, filling the room with a pleasant smell.
相変わらず、
ここは庭があるから 半分ぐらいは移し替えようと思ってるけど。
Saying that, she reaches into her pocket and pulls out a sachet with seeds in it.
ついでに野菜も育てようと思ってるんだ。
もちろんさ、これで新鮮な野菜がごちそうになれるんだしな。
I take the sachet off her and take a quick look at what's inside.
よーし、ニラの種はないな。
それならちゃんとここに用意してあるよ。
She flashes me a smirk and pulls out another sachet.
そんな大量に隠し持っているなんてダメだなのは。それをよこせ。
ダメ。これは私の大好物なんだもん。
A big grin adorns her face. What's more, she takes the sachet and hides it around in her chest
取
area.
れるものなら取ってみなさい。
She stands proud in victory.
手が出せ。
あれ
It's
諦めが
like,
早い
wait,
な。
what? Come on, dude. Do you want to grab some titty?
別にいいんだよ。
You could just go in there and grab some titty.
ほらほら、かかって。
Things get a bit awkward all of a sudden. Oh, no. It's like, oh, you just gotta get. I mean, it's like it's right there. Go ahead, grab it. It's right. Come on, go ahead.
そういえば私コウに見せてあげたいものがあったんだ。
なんだ。
これ南朝霞から持ってきたんだよ。
She picks up one of the plant pots on the windowsill and shows me it. Blooming inside of it is a white flower. It's a white carnation. My mom loved these. Thinking that makes me open my eyes and I see a white carnation in the pot in my hands.
すごい。まるで魔法みたいだな。
私ウィザードだから。
She takes the pot from me, smirk on her face. The memories of the flower brought back are making Nanoha tear up.
懐かしいな。ちゃんと庭に植えてあげなくちゃね。
これがちゃんと根付いて成長。
植物用のクラスを移植して継承。なるほど。一種の人工生命にしてしまうわけです。難しい話は抜きね。早速表に行って植えてみない？
Fuck your tech speak. We're going gardening.
レイ、言ってあげて。わかりました。ではナノハさん、他の花も植えてあげませんかね。はい。じゃあ手伝ってもらえますか？もちろん喜ん。
Both of them take a pot each. I have every intention of helping out, but I'm interrupted as I'm deciding which one to pick.
これもついでに植えてあげて。
あのね、サンペドロは植えなくていいから。
そんなの私の部屋になかったよ。
A shenanigan or 10 later, we finally make our way out to the garden. Oh, Aki.
じゃあ始めるね。
Spade in hand, Nanoha starts digging. Looking around, I see some already planted flowers, recreating part of the original garden.
考えてみれば、こんなことが仮想で再現できるなんてすごいよな。
野菜や果物も育つんだって。しかもちゃんと収穫して食べられるんだって。仮想の進化もとどまるところを知らないと言って。
Slightly odd, I look at the blooming garden.
ねえこう、よかったら菜園のお手伝いもしてくれない？
そういえば、昔はみんなで手伝って
This,
ね。
she's like, no, we don't all need to pitch in. Blondie could go fuck off.
すごい。ナノハさん、学園時代にもこんな立派な菜園を作ってらっしゃったんですか？それほどでも
あ
それに私、農学科ですし。
Ah, you can't hit me with that smile. I'm weak to it.
あれナノエンジニアリング科じゃなかったっけ？
もう私がそんなとこ入れるわけないじゃないの。
そうだっけ？
そうそう、それで落ち込んでいるの。きっとそのうち思い出すよ。じゃあ草むしりをお願いしていいかな。
ああ、すごいな。雑草まで生えるのかよ。
昔は花や雑草を摘むと消えちゃってたらしいですよね。花が摘めるようになる前の時代です。その変更がいつどこで始まったのか、AI がどうしてロジックを変更したのか、多分花を摘みたいという人の願望。
That does sound like a solid theory. Worked my brain a bit while weeding. Now it's all coming back to me. It was towards the end of summer, and we were still hyped about the tournament. Yeah, now I remember. It was almost dinner time, but Nanoha was locked up in her room. That led me and Aki to go get her.
そのクラスを継承して。違う、そっちじゃなくてこれ。ちょっと何か控えてるの。
Here Nanoha in front of her room.
宿題か？そんなに大変なら手伝
いいよ。
いいから見せてみろよ。
I show the virtual monitor projected in her retina. At first glance, I see hundreds of lines of code and just as many error messages. Right, Nanoha enrolled in Seishi's finest nano-engineering class. Her studies have got to be way harder than mine.
だからそれ定義したじゃん。ああ、こら、そこのポイント。
苦闘してるみたいだな。
古典言語なんか嫌いだよ。
There's actual tears in her eyes. It's damn clear she's having a hard time here. I said I'd help, but I'm not sure if it's something I could
貸
solve.
して。
Aki takes over. She rewrites the lines at ludicrous speeds.
終わった。
早っ。
最適化。無駄な多さがバグの要因。
Nanoha stares at the screen with great intensity, then looks up at me. Her eyes are teary again.
こう、わからない。どうしてこれでちゃんと動いてるのか、私さっぱりわかんないよ。
Why are you complaining to me? Talk to the person who actually did it.
泣くな。俺に聞くな。情けない声出すんじゃない。しっかりしろよ。お前。
I glanced at the task she tried to solve. It's actually simpler than I expected. Even I might be able to solve it.
飽きねえのこれはともかくこの問題なら俺でももっとスマートに書けそう。もしかして苦手分野だったりする。だったらいい学習ツールがネットに。
ごめん。一人にして。
おい、ナノハ。
She pushes me to the side and rushes out of the room.
なんかあったの？今ナノハがすごい勢い
Not
で
the
出て
time,
ったみたいだ
Shinatsu.
けど。
原因はこう。
ひょっとしてまたなんかやっちゃったの？
ああ、謝らないとな。
はあ、そうじゃない。セカンドなら幼馴染の学籍名簿ぐらい自分で調べて。
Shinatsu and I look at each other quickly and get on the net.
嘘。
There's a bit of info I'd have never expected.
俺、ちょっとナノハ見てくる。
I rush out of the dorm. What? Find her standing in the middle of the dark road.
ナノハ。
ごめんね。つい。
いや、俺も言い方が悪かった。それより。
How do I even address it? All of us thought Nanoha was studying nanoengineering. Turns out she's actually in agriculture.
私がど
あのさ、今頃気づいたけど、お前、ナノ
ごめんなさい。
いや、言い出しにくかったんだろ。
ナノ工学科も受けたんだ。でも
あそこはうちの最難関なんだから、落ちたって全然恥ずかしくはないだろ。それに農学科だって大したものじゃないか。正直、ナノハにはぴったりの分野だと思うぞ。いつの時代だって本当に大切な学問だし。
うん。私もそう思う。勉強してて楽しいし。
だったら
本当にごめんね。
Already with the teary voice. Why? I'm not guilting her or anything. Though I'm kind of sad she hid the truth from
い
me.
や、そんなに謝るほどのことじゃないけど、早く言ってくれればよかったのに。
うん。でもやっぱり落ちたのは行きたいのはナノ工学科なのに。
もしかしておじさんやおばさんと同じ分野に。
うん。だから秋の編入試験でそれまで学科のことは黙っていよう。
ああ、それで頑張って自習してたわけ。
それじゃお母さんやお父やの子なのに。どうして頭が悪いんだろう。
It doesn't work that way, girl. I'm the daughter of nanoscientists. Why am I not good at nanoscience? Like, listen, I'm the son of an accountant and someone who works in coal mines. I could not do either of those jobs, nor do I want to. And the floodgates open. Can't handle women crying in general, but that goes double for Nanoha. Put my hand on her head just like I used to.
もっと自分に誇りを持て。頭が悪かったら青春に入学なんかできないだろ。
Oh, Nanoha. You could never be Aki. She hides her bawling face in my
あ
chest.
のな、秋姉が二人になったら俺。
Unsure how to handle the situation and just let her cry on me. As that goes on, I wonder why she's so hung up on nanoengineering. Can't really say it out loud, but I don't think it suits her. I really doubt her parents expect her to follow in their footsteps. As far as I know, they're not that strict.
だから何言ってるのかわかんないって。
She must have reasons I don't know about. Thought I knew everything about her. For the first time since our reunion, I realized the distance between us.
何をぼーっとしているの？
I opened my eyes to the sight of Nanoha staring down at me with a smile. It's no longer night either.
ああ、いやごめん、ちょっと疲れてるみたいで。
Didn't exactly tell her that I was having a flashback there. Would help if they didn't happen so spontaneously, though. Last time it happened while we were walking here. My nano treatment's over, but it feels like these are becoming more frequent.
注意、大丈夫ですか？うん、こう。
And they're gonna be chanting in their heads, and Nano's gonna be like, "Oh, I see you guys are having a moment, huh?"
一応ノイズ
Yeah.
かもしれませんね。
Yep.
それと、ナノハさんと睨んで。
Also, Nanoha is glaring at you. Yeah, no, whenever I see Nanoha snap into that face, it's fucking great. I come to my senses only to realize that Nanoha is staring a hole into me.
おうおう、何をぼーっとレインさんの顔を見つめてるの？
ああ、すま。
別にいいけど、ご飯食べていくよね。
ああ、もう。
レインさんも今日は食べていきます。はい、ありがとうございます。さん、なんてかしこまらなくていいんです。
なのは。レインは俺と同い年だ。
嘘ではありませんよ。
Nanoha takes a good look at every inch of Rain's body, then shoots a pathetic gaze my way.
よくわからんが、俺に助けを求められても、俺はどうしようもない。
何かいやいやいや、私と一つしか違わないのに、ねとか
なのは。
だって。
I mean, she's alright.
ありがとうございます。
そういえば、教官もレインの容姿は褒め。
こうさ、
ああ、いた。
職業訓練学校に行ってまして。
そうそう、絶対に語尾にファックをつけるし。
Fuck!
もうオフェラ豚とかケツを出せとか下品な言葉をマシンが
どっかの鬼軍曹みたいだね。
プログラマの学校。
まあいいか。じゃあ早速料理に取り掛かりますか。
あ、はい。
Both of us reply in sync.
ああ、こうはいいよ。レインさん、手伝っていただけますよね。私が。
Now Rain's showing me obvious signs of desperation.
しかし、ここで断ってしまっては。
あー。
別に結構なんですけど。違います。もちろんお手伝いさせていただき。ありがとう、レインさん。
Rain follows Nanoha back into the dorm, leaving me on my own. Should probably go ahead and help, though. Sharp pain runs through my skull, messing up my thought process. Nanoha's parents were scientists who focused on nano research. Our town was pretty detached from regular society, so people weren't fond of them despite how nice they were. Didn't help that they'd leave Nanoha home alone often due to being so busy. Fragments of my past come back to me before cutting off once more. Give my head a shake, then lie down in the garden. White clouds line the blue sky, the wind carries with it the scent of flowers. I can feel my headache fading as I enjoy the breeze. Just looking up at the sky like this helps me settle down. I hear Nanoha shouting in the kitchen. She's causing as much havoc as expected. Seems like Nanoha's grown as well, though. She'd never have the leeway to call Rain out so comically back in the day. I guess she's been through her fair share since then.
誰？
Brought myself up while addressing the footsteps I heard.
なんだ。何か用かい？
Something's not right. Not just the fact that it's standing there in silence either. Something's weird about it. Feels like I'm face to face with a regular girl. That thought leads me to a certain realization.
まさか。
注意。
Turn around to see Rain looking at me with concern. The NPC is still there
お客
too.
様、美味しいジュースはいかがですか？
She holds out a chilled can of juice to me.
いや、
It bows and makes its way elsewhere.
何かあったのですか？
いや、なんでもない。
Must have bugged out. That or I was imagining things. Either way, there's no point in bringing it up and making Rain worry.
それよりレイン、苦戦してたみたいだな。
はい、台所を追い出されてしまいました。
そうか。
今となっては花嫁修行を拒絶していたのが悔やまれます。
結婚だけが人生じゃないし、 綺麗な花嫁になれなくたって
そうでしょうけど、それでも菜の葉さんを見ていると、
まああいつにとって料理は
それに可愛らしい人ですよね。
There's a certain implication behind that line in her smile.
あいつは古風なところがあるからな。あいつならもうフィアンセの一人ぐらい見つけてるんじゃないか。
さりげなく聞いてみましたが、付き合っている方はいないそう。
つまりプッシュしてくれているわけか。
単なる状況報告です。情報収集は
I am
私の
simply gathering intel for my superior officer. Don't worry about it.
そうかい。
Can't say I've considered getting into a relationship for a long time now. Not that it's surprising, since I've spent the past few years entrenched in combat. The irony being that now I've forgotten why I went that far in the first place. What's more, I've even forgotten how and why I ended up getting into a relationship with Sora. I feel a sudden pang of exhaustion.
一体俺は何。
そう思うのなら休息が必要な証拠ですよ。
She might be right. We can put relationships and stuff aside for now. Just taking the time to spend with a close friend doesn't sound bad.
二人ともご飯が炊けたよ。
とりあえず飯でも食って考えてみるよ。
ぜひそうな。
Both of us make our way into the dorm. Familiar sight comes into view. It's Minami Asuka. My younger self is dashing somewhere from the situation. My destination is Nanoha's house. There's a truck full of luggage outside it. Looks like the movers are getting ready to leave. There's one sole child among all the adults. She's sulking. It's Nanoha.
おーい。
Her head shoots up the moment my voice reaches her. One quick look of disbelief later, and she shoots off towards me.
ひょっとして
She looks like she's about to cry already. And again, I'm probably as sad about this as she is.
ああ、もちろん間に合ってよかったよ。
でも今日は平日だよ。
だって学園は明日も明後日もあるけど。
News that Nanoha had to move away came out of nowhere for me. My mom had already passed by this point. I was living with Aki after being taken in by relatives. They were the ones who told me about Nanoha moving, so I came over here in a panic. This is the first time I've seen her in months. She'll be living in some far-off place by tomorrow. Meeting her won't be easy anymore.
新しい学園じゃ喧嘩しこうってば弱いくせにすぐ喧嘩するから。
メールにも書いただろ。してないよ。
そうだよね。いじめっ子もいないし、私を守らなくてもいい。
そうじゃなくて、あっちの学園じゃセカンドなんて珍しくないんだ。だから。
そう、じゃあ、こうはもう寂しくないんだね。
Tears start streaming down her face before I know it.
なんで泣くんだよ。今度の引っ越しはめでたい引っ越しなん。よかったじゃないか。お父さんやお母さんの研究がうまくいったんだろ。こういうの確
Promotion.
か A 点って言うんだよな。
Nanoha's parents were nice, yet not exactly wealthy. They'd leave Nanoha home alone a lot due to being busy with their research, but they weren't anything like my old man. They cared for one another. Their research was finally taken notice of by the top brass, so now they get to work in a big facility. It was great, honestly. The only issue is that it would hurt the both of us.
今度行くとこ、それに規則でこうに住所も教えられないし。
Regulations.
それだけすごい仕事ってことなんだろ。それにメールや電話ぐらいはさせてもらえるんだろ。
もっと今度同じ学園に通いたかったよ。そんなにしたかったのに。
ナノハ。
ずっと心配してたんだよ。経由しててもこうして会わないと安心できないよ。
泣くなよ。何言ってるのかわからないってば。
Right there, go bye.
したらダメだよ。あんまりいたずらしちゃダメだよ。ご飯も好きで。
Can't deny how happy her reaction to leaving makes me feel. Thinking about how I won't get to see her again makes me want to cry as well, though.
よくわかんないけど心配すんな。
That's why I give her my best smile and grab her
あと
shoulders.
ちょっとすれば俺たちはネットに潜れる。そうなったら世界の裏側にいたってナノハも大きくなったら学園に進学するだろ。
そりゃ行くと。
青州って学園があるん。そこは俺たちみたいなセカンドが集まっているらしくてさ。
My mind flashes back to the scenery I saw within the ether. A world that exists purely for our sakes, shown to me by Aki. I wanted Nanoha, my closest friend, to understand the sheer awe of it all.
俺も青州に行くんだ。だから 菜の葉も青春に来ればまた一緒の学園に通えるようになる。
青春、本当にそこに行けば。
ああ、俺は決めたんだ。親父と違う立派な大人になるために勉強するんだ。
立派な正義の味方。
そんな感じかな。
Sure.
家族を見捨てたりせず大事な人を守れる立派な男になりたいんだ。
約束だよ。
She extends her pinky out to me, having finally stopped crying.
約束だよ、こう。本当に約束だからね。
ああ、菜の葉こそ約束忘れるなよ。
We seal the deal with a pinky promise. Never did forget just how slender and soft her pinky was. Another flashback to when I was a kid. Went on about being a hero and doing things for humanity's future back then. Thing is, I'm pretty sure I understood what that all entailed back then.
ほら、風邪ひいちゃうよ、こう。
Don't worry about it. I wake up to the sight of Nano's brilliant smile.
大きくなったな。
また寝ぼけてる？ご飯を食べた後、すぐ寝ちゃったのを覚えてない？
ああ、そうか。
My sense of time is going wild thanks to all these flashbacks. Quickly start racking my brain over what happened today.
そういえばレインは？
ここを見物したいって言って。
ああ、秋ね。
I notice it's pitch black after a quick glance out the window.
真っ暗だ。もうこんな時間になっちゃったんだな。
本当に疲れていたんだね。
ドタバタした毎日を送ってるからな。
ねえ、ちょっとお散歩しない？ここって星も見えるんだよ。
そりゃいいや。秋ねも一緒にどう？
Yeah, Aki, you wanna go for a walk? I love you, Aki. She'd switch right over to sleep mode after only a few seconds.
二人で行こうか。
Both of us sneak out so as not to wake Aki up. The stars are shining bright above Arvel City.
不思議だよね。このまま歩いていけば学園にたどり着けそうな気がするのにね。
そうか。さすがに学園そのものは再現されていないんだな。
We walk the familiar path to school.
誰もいないグラウンドって。
そうだな。
Both of us stop in our tracks and look around. Just then I find myself remembering the sight of Chinatsu dashing along here. It happened so long ago, yet it still feels like recent times for me.
そういえばこの前千夏に会ったよ。
千夏先輩に？
ああ、シティの通りでばったりね。
I'll keep the details about how we ended up meeting to myself. Last thing I want to do is tell Nano about riots and the awkward atmosphere between us.
懐かしいな。そっか、先輩シティにいたんだ。ね、千夏先輩元気そうにしてた？
ああ、多分長話する暇がなかったから。
千夏先輩もここに来られればいいのに。
Things don't seem like they'll play out that well, though. Nano's gentle smile leaves me at a loss for words, so I cast my eyes up to the starlit sky.
アーバルシティの設定って今は冬じゃないんだね。
Good, fuck winter.
牛飼い座が見えてるよ。ほら。
どれだ？菜の葉って星座に詳しかったっけ？
教えてあげない。
Yeah. Both of us stand side by side while we stare up at the sky.
レインさん、綺麗な人だね。
She's aight.
またその話か？
だって気になるよ、そりゃ。今日だってなんか熱く見つめ合ってるし。
レインと俺の関係はちゃんと菜の葉に話したよな。
知ってる。何かあったらこうをよろしくって。すごく真剣な顔でお願い。
レインは
でもね、私はずっとこうのそばにはいてあげられないかもしれない。
Elaborate.
だから何かあってもきっとレインさんがそばにいてくれる。
だからな。仕方がないな。
I should probably just spill the beans, both for her and Rain's
レ
sake.
インは灰色のクリスマスで、俺はたまたまいろいろあってあいつの命の恩人になっちゃってさ。以来いろいろ尽くしてくれている。だけどレインの思いは未だに死んじゃった誰かさんにあるんだよ。
そっか、だからこうと一緒にいるんだね。
ああ、傷の舐め合いだな。そして舐め合いなのをお互い確認してる。あまり褒められた関係じゃないけどね。
人の関係を他人はあれこれ言えないよ。
She starts tearing up. Are those tears for rain's sake, since she knows full well the effects of making it through that disaster?
みんな
She lets her thoughts slip
そう
out.
いうお前はどうなんだ？俺的にはお前の方が心配だ。
私もいろいろあったし、今も正直辛いけど大丈夫。私は未来をまだ信じてるもん。幸せになれるって希望を捨てて。
She smiles at me. I can't help but feel a certain weight behind her use of hope, though. Everyone's already given up on being hopeful, on our future. Everyone but her.
強くなったな。
だってそうじゃなきゃ生きてこられなかったから。
そうか。頑張ったんだな、お前も。
Can't help but pat her head like I used to. What sort of experiences did a crybaby like her have to go through for me to see her like this?
信じて待ってただけだよ。
She speaks while I pat her head. The tears in her eyes shine as she stares up to the sky.
コート、みんなとまた再会できるって信じてた。そうでなきゃ。
The tears finally drop.
ね、
泣き虫にしては頑張ったな。
頑張ったのにどうして。
いいから変な我慢するな。
I feel a platonic urge to hug her. Hell yeah. What the hell have I been doing all this time? Why haven't I been there for such a close friend?
こうに会えた。
ああ。ナノハと再会できたのは。
She leans her body over to my arm. I can feel her warmth beside me as we stare up at the stars together.